Today is day 1336 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. And I'm learning Shmiras Chutz for Achenu Kol Beis Yisrael and a Slim Batzar V'Shivya. Today we are doing Yerodei Siman Reish Aleph, no chakra there, Siman Kuf Samach Vav to Kuf Ayin Aleph. Kuf Samach Vav. Because of Tuva Shulchan Steve Mem Test, Tuva Shulchan right and Steve Test, Zes Hamshacham B'Dar Makabel Tuma Puzzle, doing Hamshacha, causing the flow over something which is acceptable to Tumas. Puzzle is Mamshich Meg Shanbama, that's by rainwater. Avayim Mamshich Milaino Mikva Shishamayim, if you drew, if causing the flow from a spring or from mikvah, which is based on a spring, I feel like they don't have Makabel Tuma kosher. Wow. Even so, two things Kabel Tum it's kosher. The Chashbin was that mikveh shemamshich hamayim v'tocho kilu hu mechuber lamayim. We consider the mikveh into which causes water flow as if it's connected to the spring, or the mikveh shemayim, or the mikveh of the spring. Shemamshich hamayim misham. You join the water from there. Kalashano. Bezel das rosh sof nida. Maybe right Mishnah Ches Perek Vav Ditnan. The Rosh brings some evidence from the Mishnah. It says, "Mitarias and mikvahos halim me'atachton." You can mitar mikvahos, the upper mikvah from the lower mikvah, but ba'rochim me'akorov and the distant mikvah from the close mikvah. Kate said, "How so? Maybe silon shalcheres, you bring a jet of pottery, or shalavar, or lead, and miniach yod tachton, put your hand underneath it. Actually, misal mayim until it's full of water. Umoshko meshiko, and you can cause the water now to flow and connect it to kosher mikvah. I feel kisara dayo. Even if it's like a hairbreadth, it's enough. And to the two fingers. Okay, maybe we'll talk about it. Avo Ramban v'Rashi b'Tshuvos Perushu Mishlazu the Silim b'Chuba Karka. They say that this pipe is this jet is connected to the ground. Rosh Mefarish b'Silim Tolish Ma'ibrat say about one which is not connected to the ground, according to Rosh. Zerushkas Rabbeinu, we says that the Yeshem B'Chag Kart, those who don't differentiate between if it's in the ground or not in the ground. Hakal Shana. V'Zel Das Rosh Ramban. That's me, the Rosh Ramban. And you know the Ato Yoser Not the Das Rosh. It seems he's more inclined to the opinion of the Rosh Kedarko, as is normal fashion. Shadei Shenot Eleh Kaisim Yikuda Mikonim B'Stam. The opinion he holds is primary, he writes first generically. But datam tamua, they're astonishing. What they say is astonishing. Tamua ma'od, it's very astonishing. The nida asilim b'chubar. Okay, let's say the jet is a connection. Hatnan minich gadotachta, it says that you can put your hand underneath it. V'adam avei makabel tuma, a person is makabel tuma. How does it work? Which have received kum and samach base. Im lo shenom, let's say that yad hu rak hamamid. The hand is only sustaining it, not actually, I'm not sure whether that should make a difference. I guess because it's not shubim, it's just holding the water back. You put your hands down until the water is, in other words, you refrain from doing anything until the water is right next to the mikvah, and then like this, we'll move it. The bracket says here, Ein's Tas, you've cut the new test. Shikshot has recessive, but measure because of a little dami. Like Kalim, he asked in the basis question. He asked in the basis statement that it's not similar to Hagos Kalim. Viksho came and have a mashka, Ashoka, they asked, since it's Hashoka, what do we care about Kalim? It's astonishing what comparison is Kalim. Kalim nipslu achar shiyotzu. By Kalim, the puzzle, even once they leave the kli. Mashrim b'davar kabel tuma, suppose something which is a kabel tuma, that I guess once it's that's a keli. Which Kasab Sif Kubas and Kimo Kenkos of a Shach, Batazo Shitaso, Fatamanos of Sif Nunbov, Zain Ayin Shabduk. Kubnam is Samak Sign. Yeshu showing those who say that Filu Das Rosh Eno Elksham Kubra Mayim Elsha Mikva or Mayim Shamayan. It's only when the water of the mikvah is connected to the water of the spring, from which it flows. But if the flow has stopped, puzzle, it's no good when the jet is not mechubar karka. That's a ghost Risha. Yesh Hokim Zen, those who argue, and they say the ain't tzarich chibur, you don't need a connection. The Ashoka Mani, the Ashoka is good enough. That's the Shach. The near is like near Lo Pliika. So Shulchan, the Shach, and the Rishon are arguing. The valley be'esam amshacha tzarich l'chibur l'mayim k'moshe shninu. It's only a time of doing an amshacha, causing the flow to go. You need to have a connection to the spring, like we said. Mashiach afilu b'ksara, and you can do ashacha even with a hairbreadth. Located because it's not a rebuttal. In other words, you don't need two its bows. One finger, one hairbreadth is enough. The valley be'esam amshacha tzarich l'mayim k'moshe shninu. The time ashacha you need that. Mashiach afilu b'ksara. Because otherwise the name, the definition as a Mayan stops when the connection stops. You make shamim. Halacha would be like a rainwater. Bishop verses the British parak and mikvos, then it's not true. Bishop says explicitly at the beginning of the fifth parak mikvos, the mayan should be a gabe brecha with a spring which you cause to flow on top of a pool. Visiko and interrupted harayuka mikveh. Ayin Sham. Only if we went over that pool. Should be honored with Ayin Sham. But once they got into the new mikvah, everybody, even the first opinion holds you don't need connection. Came out of Mayim, you're the back, once the water came down a kosher way. What do we care what happens afterwards? But this is not like a man, it's like a mikvah. Possible b'zoichlin. And therefore apostles if the water is on the move. That seems to be the primary halacha. That it always has to be connected. Actually, I shouldn't say all this time. Time Ashaka. Time Shaka. Has to be Ashaka. That for some reason the Kuta Saira. I think this is a Mayan. If I recall correctly. Kupsamaches. V'da yishno kikam mikvos bismanenu. Some mikvos are the day and age. Shmai mikvah hamuka. They bring out the water from the deep mikvah, which shumayim, which is spring. Malamala samayim, they bring it up. Vosim mikvah smucha la'aretz. Make a mikvah right at ground level. Can be rain also sukain. That is also took place in the Arukh. How do you do this? How do you get water up without making shubin? You put at a height, large vessels. Make jets of metal or copper going down from iron or copper, going down from these large kalim, mikvah to the deep mikvah. And you bring the water up into the kalim by a pump. And then the water goes down to the deep mikvah, through jets, through pipes. And from there the water goes underneath the ground. And they come for some time through the jets. So they're not so distant from the top mikvah. Sham osim silon shall eitz, and there they make a wooden jet. Water goes down to the top mikvah. According to this, the water is connected to the bottom mikvah. Even after the water has gone down through the jets, the mikvah has on top as halacha mayan and with tar bezolin gankin. So tar even if it's not stationary. If the main mikvah, water of the upper mikvah is severed from the water of the lower mikvah, then the top mikvah only has a din of mikvah, and not of a mayan. It only is matami stationary, and not when it's flowing. I'm not sure how they did this. Maybe you did it like because a pump. can't make sure according to this. So I think it's like the creating a vacuum, and then letting the water flow into that vacuum, even though it's flowing up. So therefore, it's not shuvim. And then water then after it leaves the mikveh also goes down and connects back down. That's what seems to be the case. Kuvayin v'da. No, sorry, Kuf Samachtes. The Yesh Mikvos Baring Dolos, the Mikvos in the great cities, Shabsham Hochi and Maim and Aros, where water goes from rivers, L'chol Batei to all the city, Derech Sinaros, V'Sinaros Tachas HaKarka B'Omet, through the pipes and jets. Jets are just large pipes. Underneath the ground in depth. Nikrab Hashem Dina Vada Provodin, water providing. Mamshichin Gam Likvos Maima Elu. They bring this water also to mikvos. Tzrichim resort to be careful. Oshibu and mikvah me'atzionos, so shabaza mechubar in the karka, that either they fall from the mikvah from the pipes and jets of metal which is connected to the ground, or shkoram mikvah before the mikvah yasek tatzkin which relates. Make a little bit of a jet of wood, me'mesha shoshel tvachim, or at least we talking, which happened we saw above. This water, they have to close the water after they come to the mikvah. It's like time for the admissible supply. Therefore, they don't have the halacha maya. The mikvah l'tar b'shmaran, the entire station is not flowing. Have to be careful everything we spoke about. It sounds like. Again, I'm not sure what he's saying about modern water systems. It sounds like the water system at the time of the Arukh HaShulchan, you consider tap water to be mikveh water. And there is this famous book, The Secret of a Jew, by Rabbi David Miller from the early 20th century, where he talks about making mikveh in your household, in a cabinet. And I believe that there he is also making that tap water can be considered mikveh water since it comes directly from a river. And or in our case in New York City, comes from a big lake. Be that as it may, the only time it would not work, which probably is true about modern systems, is when it's filtered in the interim and it sits on the filter or something like that. Okay, fine. But you should know the they still by that we said by an iron jack, if it's not connected to the ground, in my mind, you're the mikvah, they come down for into the mikvah apostle. Shum the Baina and Hovasa the Tara, because it has come into being through Tara. That's the opinion of most of our rabbis. Now, Rambam loves Vilakain. But the Rambam does not hold that way. Shekaz Reish Perek Vav, he writes, reading the 6th Perek, the Kol Kli Shalom Yaseh the Kabbalah, any vessel which doesn't have a receptacle, ain't a posela, since a mikvah doesn't render mikvah unfit, ben shalcheres, ben shamateches, whether it's pottery or metal. The silon shemateches, this jet of iron of metal, if it's not made for serving as receptacle, doesn't render the mikvah unfit. According to what he's saying, when you draw water from a spring to the mikvah, you can use metal pipes altogether, which again would validate the city water system. The Mishnah, one of the Mishnah Havayosei the Tara, holds that which it says in Mishnah that has to happen through Tara. That's why you need to have spring water, dafka spring water, such as by Zav, Pora, and by Paraduma. But for the tefillah of a Nida or a Zava, ain't Mapasul Raka de Keli. The whole problem is when it comes to a Keli. Let's say they Tara will be in cloud, but you don't need it to come into being through Tara. For I is there evidence of this, Pora says there Nasan Yoda or Raglo, B'chuli Kadesh Evra Mayim Chavis Psulim. It's if you put your hand or your foot, the water should go into the jug. It's possible, because they have to come into being through Tara. Not Hochi Para, since we have such a Mishnah by Para, the low Mikvos, it doesn't say that it doesn't mention by Mikvos. Shma'amina. For this we conclude the Mikvos like Achdina, Tavayasa, Ede Tara, and Avayasa de Tara is not a requirement for a Mikvah. Vodani Omer also say the Mikvos Tan Hevech Misa. Mikvos says actually the diametric opposite. But Tara is a Mikvah Yoina, Perek Vav Mishles, you retire the upper mikvah Elyon, and attack from the lower mikvah. Maybe you bring a jet of pottery or shalavar of lead. The tachta, put your hand underneath it. B'chuli ayin sham. It's clear here. It says explicitly you have to use a lead pipe. Gam ayidei yado, and you can use your hand. Shnei kabel tuma, which are both makabel tuma. For Rashi Farish b'silam b'chubel karka, the Rosh says to tell you about a jet which is connected to the ground. For Rashi Farish the Maya Mutter, he says when it's spring it's okay. Like we saw yesterday. Fartamanu shom l'rashba Maya said v'niach yodo ditzanan. Spanish means on the Rashi. What's going to do when it says you put your hand there? We have difficulty with this. Ram Asishab Shins, according to Ram, works out well, in a simple way, come. Nevertheless, came the Chorah, was saying, Chokin Love, Ubatur Shorach, Lo, Badaito Klau, Lo Kaimon Kumo, so we don't hold many of these things of Kli Matchos and bed in the ground. In the bracket says here, Hachmiad Derech Ramazal, Adas Ramazal, the Ha'aviyasa Yitar, Lamana Bezvachim. It's nice to ignore it, but it's in Mesechtes Zvachim. Sham Mikra, the Achmayna Bor Mikvah Mayim Yetor. Even a mine or a bor gathering water is tar. There's Havayasa De Tara. From there we learn it has to come mikvah through Tara. Bikra Gam Mikvah Ksiv also says mikvah there. So need a Zava, which is for needing a Zava, not from Mayim Chaim. Kanka Min Havayasa De Tara. Okay, so questions how does that sugya? We don't know. Left like this. A mikvah, which is rainwater, is not matar if it's flowing. Because of the two, they have two rights as follows. A mikvah which one of its walls it can crack. The water comes out through the crack. So those who pass it, Filu, even the 40 so which could be left, after they all go through the crack. Because since the water is being removed, being lost to the crack. So the whole thing is here moving. But then you have a rest because of Vadai. Definitely it's 40 so left. Before some of them left through the crack kosher. It's okay. If there's 40 so left, also seems fairly obvious. But it's the possible at the rush where Rabbeinu Rama Kasa the Yesh Machmir not feeling Mishar Baim saw it as Sedek. So the Machmir even as goes still going 40 saw up to the crack. From shows you shows the brackets Komar Mitachti some mikvah from the bottom of the mikvah. Yesh Lushi Devel Chatchil Stama Parak Static special to seal the crack on Kalashon. The Nero Hadi the Dina is really Ganki Karosh. The Chatchil Chashash Gam and the Acheres. It's like the rush, but the Chashash for the other derech. Him the Yevet at Tefillah share of answer Tefillah Acheres wasn't done, then the tefillah is still kosher, and you don't need to go do another tefillah over again. That's it for today.